the trip's not over yet. Grade Trump's trip so far. Still have China on Thursday. A through F.
Triple A, master. It's just been such a masterful deal leading into the meeting with Xi. I mean, think about this. Jesse, rare earth stocks in America are down. You know why? Because China blinked. They're relenting. Why? Because President Trump triangulated. He went to Southeast Asia and he cut deals all along the way. Mineral deals, processing deals. Oh, and the money from Japan. He's bringing back a gold golf ball and $500 billion. We're going to build nuclear power plants with that. We're going to build auto plants with that. This is mind-boggling. In the meantime, the Dems are going to let people starve. We're going to let 40 million people get off food stamps. For what? This is another crazy self-inflicted wound. President Trump is putting on a... Did you see that picture of him and Takachi walking down the staircase together, arm in arm?
Mm-hmm.
The respect that he's getting around the world, what he's pulling off around the world, and again, in China's backyard on the eve of this critical meeting.
Hey, what's going on, Bull Runners? Welcome back to the channel. Ryan Huggins here, aka Win with Ryan. Imagine missing out on the biggest financial shift of 2025 right under your nose. Countries are quietly reshaping how money moves across borders. And if you're not paying attention, you could be left behind. In this video, we're diving into breaking news that's stirring the crypto world, Vietnam's bold move with XRP, a surprising twist from a major player, and a stablecoin launch that could change everything. Stick with me because the clock is ticking and opportunities like this don't wait. I'm going to show you how to stay ahead of the game. Plus, we'll be heading over to X to find out all the breaking news that's happening in the financial world today. We're going to head over to Forex Factory and look at the red folder news you need to know about today. Western Union did pick Solana for its stablecoin. Vietnam did pick XRP for its cross-border payments. And we will be jumping into XRP in the charts, looking at major points of resistance and support that you need to know about right now. Plus, we're going to be taking a look at that long-term and short-term momentum wave, and so much more in today's video. So if you're like most people where you don't have the opportunity to spend hours a day doing crypto research, well, that is what we do for you on this channel. So make sure you subscribe right now. And if you are still feeling bullish about this current bull run, let us know by commenting 777 down below. But first, let's head over to CoinMarketCap. Check out the overall health of the crypto market today. You can't see we are trading at $3.8 trillion total market cap. We are down, though, 1.18% today. There was $171 billion worth of trading volume in the last 24 hours. Fear and greed did slip back under the neutral zone. We are back into fear at the 39 out of 100. Altcoin season index continues to be sitting at this low level, 27 out of 100. Bitcoin dominance continues to climb, now at 59.2%. Bitcoin ETF inflows kicking off the week pretty well. Yesterday at 149 million, today at 142 million, bringing this week's total already to 292 million to the inflows. Ethereum also kicking the week off strong. We have a $133 million yesterday, $169 million today, bringing the total for the week right now at $303 million worth of inflows. Top 6 cryptos by total market cap. Bitcoin number 1 at $112,787. Number 2, Ethereum at $4,015. Number 3, Tether at $1. Number 4, XRP at $2.61. Number 5, BNB at $1,109. And number 6, Solana at $194. All right, ladies and gentlemen, tomorrow is the day that we've all been waiting for. The federal funds rate decision is coming out. The forecast is a drop of 25 basis points down to 4%. We are going to see first thing tomorrow, Jerome Powell will announce the new rate, and then he'll get on TV and talk about the reason that they ended up launching this rate. Now, there's a big mixture of, is it actually going to drop to 4? Is it going to stay at 4.25? Because the data with the United States government has been impacted. They don't know the true data, as they say. We know that that's not realistic, but they're using that as an excuse to potentially hold up rate cuts from 4.25 to 4.0. But when you head over to the CME Group's Fed Watch, we do notice we are now at 99.9% sure that there will be a rate cut coming up for this month, down to the 4% level. Then we will be having another potential rate cut in December, getting down to 3.75. Then in January, there's potential of going from 3.75 all the way to 3.5. That's currently at a 50-50 decision already. And as you heard in the kickoff of the meeting, we are having tremendous success overseas. Scott Bessent says, As I depart for Japan, it is clear that, as evidenced by President Trump's remarks yesterday, both countries will have a golden age under our two outstanding leaders. And as we continue the clip here from Charles Moneyman Payne, who says that AI is the nuclear arms race for 2025 and 2026, and China just blink.
Yeah, so it is in China's backyard, and Trump's coming in with all of this political capital that he's gathered up in Europe and in the Arab states and now in Asia, and he's coming into Xi, throwing it down and say, sign. Let's just sign it. You think he's going to sign it?
Yeah, I think so. Listen, China did all the things in the last couple of weeks, all of the saber rattling, all of the things for their own public consumption. Of course, they don't have a media that hates their leader, right? I don't know legally you can over there, but
Right.
In the meantime, all you hear is negative stuff about Trump in the media. All you hear about negative stuff. And by the way, it's the regular media and the financial media. And think about this. You referenced the stock market. Today, up another record driven by AI. After the close, NVIDIA is partnering with the Department of Energy. We're going to build supercomputer plants. It's just every single day. You're taking the bull by the horns, because here's the real deal. We are in a modern day, the same thing as the nuclear arms race. This is a modern day nuclear arms race. We must win at AI. We must win at data centers. We let it go. Biden shut down fossil fuels. Democrats shut down power plants. They closed nuclear power plants. They dragged their feet. They put us in an awkward position while they slumbered over 3 years. They went to war with tech companies. They went to war with them. NVIDIA's cutting deals with the White House. AMD's cutting deals with the White House. It's nonstop. Quantum computing, we brought it 10 years it was going to be 10 years in the future. We're bringing it into the present. It's mind-boggling stuff. It's all being driven by the White House. It's reflected in the stock market. And I think we'll see a major deal with Xi and Trump.
The trip's not over yet.
Do you love crypto, but are you worried about taxes shrinking your retirement nest egg? Here's the deal. Trading and selling crypto can trigger capital gains taxes, eating into your wealth. A crypto IRA fixes that. Per IRS publication 590B, traditional IRA gains like those from crypto aren't taxed until distributed. That's why we've partnered with iTrust Capital, a leading crypto IRA company in the USA, to sponsor today's video. And they offer institutional grade custody for retail clients that want to set up their crypto IRAs for retirement, leveraging top storage solutions like Fidelity, Wells Fargo, and Coinbase Prime to keep your assets secure. To get started, simply click the link in the description of this video, sign up for free, and fund your account with cash. They also offer 401k rollovers or crypto transfers, and you can trade 24/7 with just 1% transaction fees and no maintenance costs. As always, I'm not a CPA or financial advisor, so consult one for tax advice, and we do earn a commission if you sign up using our link below to fund your crypto IRA account, but that helps support value-based videos like this. And iTrust Capital already has over 200,000 crypto IRA accounts and over $14 billion in transactions, proving they're trusted by smart investors just like you. So click the link below, get started now by funding your account today, and let's create generational wealth together.
Now, as you heard him mention in that video as well, we continue to hit record high after record high in the stock market. As we take a look right here, this is the S&P 500 on the weekly charts. It is actually a gap from last week's to this week's. That's how powerful it was to kick off the week. Short-term momentum still powering to the upside, which is absolutely insane. Daily, we can take a look here. Long-term momentum bullish. Short-term momentum has risen to the top here. We'll take a look at how that's going to be happening tomorrow. On top of that, you have the US 30 as well, also kicking off and also hitting new all-time highs yesterday. The new red candle for today has officially kicked off. But when we look at the weekly chart here, again, another gap to the upside and a huge surge for an all-time high yesterday. And then on top of that, we also have the NASDAQ, which also absolutely boosting to the upside as well. Again, like I just said, there's literally a gap on all of our index funds to the upside, and we are surging to new all-time highs. So TradFi is doing phenomenal. And before we get into crypto, speaking of traditional finance, Tesla continues to absolutely go crazy. Elon Musk just came out and talked about one of his visions for Tesla. And the first thing I said, I was talking to a friend of mine. I was like, oh my gosh, I need to buy Tesla. I don't own any Tesla. I'm all crypto. This was like, holy crap, you have to own some Tesla because this is insane. Take a look at what Elon said here. He said, actually, one of the things that I thought of is if we get all of these cars that maybe are bored while they're sort of, if they're bored, we could actually have a giant distributed interface fleet and say, if they're not actually driving, he calls cars being bored because they're just sitting in your garage. Let's just have a giant distributed interface fleet. At some point, if you've got tens of millions of cars in the fleet, or maybe at some point, hundreds of millions of cars in the fleet, and let's say that they had at that point, I don't know, a kilowatt of interface capacity, of high performance interface capacity. That's 100 gigawatts of interface distributed within the power and cooling already taken, with cooling and power conversion taken care of. Because remember, these cars obviously have a cooling system in them. That seems like pretty significant asset. So basically, Tesla could turn their entire fleet into a giant distributed interface network spread across Tesla, spread across the world, powered by the batteries and the AI in the cars already. Absolutely mind-blowing to think about that. Now, obviously, as you watch this channel, your goal is probably to get rich as F. You are a genius for being here because you're ahead of the curve. You're watching crypto. Eric Weinstein, though, came out with an amazing post that was a little bit deeper than your average everyday post. He says, imagine that you finally get all the power, control, wealth of your dreams. You then buy all the stuff that you salivate over, toys, homes, experiences, all of it. Okay? Tough question. Now what? Seriously. After the party gets old, now what? So let me know what you are going to do down in the comments. If everything was taken care of, you had nothing left to buy, what would you do with all your leftover money? Also, big breaking news today. The deadline for the United States Office of the Comptroller of the Currency to decide on Ripple's National Trust Bank Charter application was October 28th. So when you're watching this, that would be yesterday. But this date marks the end of the 120-day review period that began when the application was filed at the early July 2025. So when will we have the decision? Are they going to be granted their bank charter? Let me know what your opinion is down in the comments. Breaking news, Vietnam just made history. The Vietnamese Congress has passed its long landmark crypto bill, officially recognizing XRP as a legitimate solution for cross-border payments, both through the central bank and for global transaction. Now, doing a little bit more digging, this person obviously is a huge XRP fan because the law, which did pass in September 2025, only legalizes digital assets broadly and launched a general trading pilot without mentioning XRP specifically. However, we do know that the Asian countries are using XRP and they have partnerships with Ripple already. Trump is over in Asia right now making more and more partnerships. Ripple recently had their bank review completed, but when will we see the results? So what a whirlwind day for financials in traditional finance and crypto alike. Now, before we jump into the charts, there is a potential negative news for XRP and Ripple, the company. However, some people are also saying this is positive news because Western Union, SWIFT, and all of the old dinosaur technology of transferring money which is super expensive, is supposed to find new rails, which obviously that would be Ripple and XRP, who's trying to create their own entire system of transferring money. Well, the establishment seems to be fighting back because Western Union has selected Solana for its digital asset network when they're launching their USDPT. This was announced on the third quarter earnings call last week. The stablecoin system will consist of US dollar payment token, or USDPT, and the digital asset network, which will be built in partnership with Anchorage Digital Bank, Western Union said. Solana put out a post: for 175 years, we've been connecting people, moving 150 billion a year. Digital assets is the next evolution. We looked at alternatives and came to the conclusion that Solana was the right choice. On top of that, Zelle, MoneyGram, makes stablecoin moves. On Friday, parent company behind payments platform Zelle said that it would also launch stablecoins and fuel faster cross-border payments, while MoneyGram announced mid-September that it would integrate crypto app in Colombia to offer USDC wallet for locals. All right, so let's take a look at XRP and where we're at. We do have a new daily candle, and as we've been talking about, there's a severe, important problem right here in front of us. This is that gap between 264 and 275. It is a supply and demand that's historic, that comes all the way back to us from December 3rd of 2024. We've seen this be an area of extreme resistance multiple times. We've also seen massive support. Unfortunately, it broke down recently. So we do need to break back up through this level. And then we're going to be seeing some more short-term resistance along the way as well, getting back into the $2.90 range right in here. And we'll also, once we start to make this move, by the way, we'll go ahead and do some more. There's going to be a ton of chop. Like, look at, there's massive, massive overhead resistance. There's all of this resistance right now that we're pushing up against. Then we're going to see all of these levels of resistance that we have to push through. But ultimately, if we switch back to the weekly candles, let's take a look at what we're looking for. Well, one, we're looking to break above our current all-time high weekly body candle close, which is up here at $3.45. We'll zoom in a little here for you. As we can see, $3.45. Our next level of closed body candles that we need to close on the weekly above is going to be right here at $2.95. Because as you can see, on the smaller time frames, this was a high, and then we had a lower high, and then we had a lower high, and then we're potentially having another lower high. If we get rejected here without surging back, we need to create new market structure above $2.96. Really, we need to get back above $3. That's the psychological level for XRP. We break back above $3. We're looking good. Then we can start surging above $3.45 into price discovery mode to the upside. Now, what's interesting on our weekly chart here, long-term momentum, bullish. Short-term momentum has fully reset to zero, and there is room to run, ladies and gentlemen. I'm talking massive move to run. Last time we had a reset to zero, and a pump was our 55 cent up to $2.90. And even higher from there. But I'm just talking about the massive run by itself. Then we had a recycle set down to zero. We had a pump from 0 to 100 right here. That's when price went from $2 all the way up to its new all-time high, $3.66. We are having a cycle reset down to the downside. And as I mentioned before, this was a lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high on these small block of time frame. But when we take in all of this into account, as we can see right here, this was a low, this was a higher low, and this is potentially another higher low, which will be beautiful because obviously we have this massive wick to the downside, grabbed all that crazy liquidity down there. But in reality, bodied candle closes are here and we're surging up. All of this right here was a cascade clearing out leveraged long positions in the market. All of your spot trader holders are still doing okay. They didn't suffer tremendously from that drop there. But for my pessimists out there thinking we are going bearish, let's take a look. Well, first and foremost, we have to break down below the weekly 30 exponential moving average, which is very close to doing. We just barely broke through that last week. After that, we would have another support level here on the weekly charts at the 50 exponential moving average of $2.35. And then ultimately, there's a nice level of actual supply and demand right here at 223. So 220 to 223, there's a lot of traders in this level right here that are looking to buy. People think this is a good buy price. And as we can see, when price got down here, it got bought up. And when we go and take a look across this level, this is where there was a nonstop fight before the actual send to the upside. Looking at the daily charts, this is what we talked about the other day. Our short-term momentum has fully extended out, which is unfortunate because there is likely a reset coming for that, cycling from 100 back to zero. Now, there's been a couple of times where it's been able to maintain that level for multiple days, if not weeks at a time. And that was actually our last surge from $2 up to the new all-time high. So we have to have optimism there. However, the only problem is our bull-bear indicator here, the wolf pack, we were flipped into full bull mode here, right? We're about 24, 48 hours away, possibly even 36 hours away, because that's not looking very bullish to the upside. We've stalled. We don't have volume surging in. So we do need to see some possible great news from China this weekend. We need to see interest rate cuts happening tomorrow. We need to see a lot of very fundamental bullish news so that way we can see some chart bullish news. Right now, we are long-term bullish on the weekly. We're starting to move to bullish on the daily. When we look at the 3-day chart, it's curling back up, which is nice. So our 3-day curl back up, but that's legitimately bearish. Short-term momentum is trying to climb to the upside as well. So we'll continue to monitor this over the next 24 to 48 hours. You know where our levels of resistance and support are right now. Make sure you subscribe so you stay up to date with this XRP chart.
If you have 10K or more in crypto, you're literally giving up an extra $300 per month in passive income. You're giving up on a free 3 to 8% additional monthly yield just because it's sitting on an exchange like Coinbase or Binance and you're being lazy. You're taught to hodl, just wait for price appreciation, and this is costing you thousands of dollars. So let's see what happens here. While your assets are sitting there doing absolutely nothing and inflation is kicking your ass. For example, Ethereum didn't do anything over the course of 3 months. XRP didn't do anything over a whole year. And Solana, same thing. It didn't do anything for an even longer period of time while you sat there making no money. And I'm not saying that these are bad investments. It's quite the opposite, actually. But the smartest investors in the world make their crypto work for them to generate additional yield. And why would you not do that? You're holding these crypto assets anyways. It's like buying a rental property and not renting it out. If you hold on to the property because you believe that it's going to appreciate in value over years, why wouldn't you rent it out so someone else can pay your mortgage while you still get the value appreciation? So it makes no sense to just hold your crypto without earning yield on your idle coins. And if you're just holding your crypto on exchanges like Coinbase, your assets aren't safe. In fact, Coinbase was hacked for $400 million and the hackers bribed Coinbase employees so they could access sensitive user information, demanding a $20 million ransom from Coinbase, which the company refused to pay.
I want to make you aware of a disturbing email that we received recently at Coinbase. It was a ransom note demanding $20 million in Bitcoin in exchange for these attackers not releasing some information they claim to have obtained on our customers. I'm going to respond publicly to these attackers by saying no. We are not going to pay your ransom.
And I even received a letter in the mail saying that my information was included in that hack. So I'm speaking from firsthand experience here, not just an article that I read online. So not only are you leaving free money on the table by not earning yield on your idle crypto, but you're also putting yourself at risk of losing it all, getting hacked, or having your account frozen by keeping your crypto on centralized exchanges. Because if it's not your keys, it's not your crypto. You already know this, so I don't have to tell you. You can't afford to be lazy with your capital. The US is drowning in nearly $40 trillion in debt, so this is your insurance against the system. To learn how you can earn passive income on your coins every single day while protecting your capital from hacks or scammers, my research team put together a step-by-step tutorial for you to start earning yield on your crypto today, and it takes less than 10 minutes to get set up. All you need to do is go to altcoinpro.com after you're done watching this video, create your account, and click on the Start Here lesson under the classroom, and you'll discover how one liquidity pool is earning our members up to 40% yield on digital assets that they already own. Plus, you can go into the DeFi yield picks and see even more opportunities to earn passive income on your coins safe and predictably with complete control and ownership of your assets. You will make significantly more money by being your own bank. And all you need to do is go to altcoinpro.com to get started right now.